It was just another Tuesday morning. I hated Tuesdays. They were long and boring and always felt like the slowest day of the week. My alarm clock buzzed like an angry bee and I smacked it with my hand. I rolled out of bed, my feet hitting the cold wooden floor with a thud. My name is Leo and I'm 12 years old. Get up. Stumble to the bathroom. Brush my teeth. Try to make my messy brown hair look somewhat normal. It never worked. I grabbed my toothbrush, the blue one, and squeezed a blob of minty toothpaste onto it. I stared at my tired face in the mirror above the sink. Dark circles under my eyes. I started brushing my teeth up and down, side to side. The foam filled my mouth. Everything was exactly as it should be. The reflection in the mirror was just me, Leo, looking tired and grumpy. I finished brushing and spit the toothpaste into the sink. I rinsed my mouth, gargled loudly, and then splashed cold water on my face. It woke me up a little, but as I hung the towel back on the hook, I noticed something. It was small, so small that I almost missed it. For just a split second, as I turned away from the mirror, I thought I saw my reflection stay put. It was like my reflection hadn't turned with me. I blinked, shaking my head. That was impossible. I must have been more tired than I thought. Later that day, after school, I went back into the bathroom to wash my hands. I'd been playing outside. My hands were covered in dirt from digging in the garden. I turned on the water, lathered up the soap, big foamy bubbles. I scrubbed my hands vigorously. I glanced up at the mirror, and that's when I saw it again. Something was definitely wrong. My reflection was moving slowly, its hands gliding through the soap bubbles in a lazy, strange way. It didn't match my frantic scrubbing at all. It was like watching a movie in slow motion while I was moving in fast forward. My heart started to pound in my chest. A cold, prickly feeling crawled up my spine. I stopped moving my hands and held them perfectly still under the water. I stared, wide-eyed, at the mirror. For a second, my reflection did the same, and then its hands started moving again, all on their own. I yelped and jumped back, stumbling over the bath mat. I landed hard on the floor. I scrambled to my feet and stared at the mirror from the other side of the room. Now, the reflection looked normal again. It was just me, Leo, standing there with a terrified look on my face. My reflection looked just as scared as I felt. I decided to test it. My hand was shaking, but I had to know. I stood right in front of the mirror, my nose almost touching the cold glass. I stared deep into my own eyes, or what I thought were my own eyes. I slowly closed my right eye, making a deliberate wink. For a split second, nothing happened. The reflection just stared back at me with both eyes wide open. Then very slowly, very deliberately, the boy in the mirror closed his left eye. Not the right one, the left one. He was mirroring my wink, but in a way that was completely and utterly wrong. A wave of pure panic washed over me. This wasn't my reflection, it was someone else. I didn't go back into the bathroom for the rest of the day. I couldn't. That night, I tried to tell my parents about it. We were eating spaghetti for dinner and I just blurted it out. There's someone else in my mirror.
Having an active imagination, are we, sport?
My mom smiled and told me to eat my dinner before it got cold. They didn't believe me. They thought it was just a silly story. But it wasn't a story. It was real. That night, I had the worst nightmares. I dreamed I was trapped inside the mirror looking out. I saw myself, the real me, living my life, eating breakfast, going to school, playing with my dog, but I was stuck. I was on the other side of the glass, pounding on it with my fists, screaming for someone to help me. But no one could hear me. I woke up in a cold sweat. My pajamas stuck to my skin. The moon was shining through my window, casting long, spooky shadows across my room. I needed a drink of water. I tiptoed down the hallway. The bathroom door was slightly ajar. A thin sliver of light glowed from underneath it. I froze. I always turn the light off. Always. My heart hammered against my ribs like a trapped bird. Who had left the light on? My hand shook as I pushed the door open. The room was empty. And there it was, the mirror, waiting for me. I took a deep breath and forced myself to look. At first, nothing happened. I saw my own terrified face staring back. I stepped closer to the sink to get my drink of water, and then I saw him. He wasn't my reflection. He was standing behind my reflection. A tall, shadowy figure of a man. He was pale and thin, with dark, sunken eyes that stared right at me. Not at my reflection. At me. He was just standing there, in the mirror, watching me. A slow, cruel smile spread across his face. I screamed. It was a raw, terrified sound that just tore from my throat. I stumbled backward, tripping over my own feet and crashing into the wall. My eyes were glued to the mirror. The man was still there. He wasn't moving. He stood in the background of the reflection behind the image of me, smiling that thin-lipped, horrible smile. Footsteps pounding up the stairs. The bathroom door burst open. My dad stood there, eyes wide with alarm. "Look! The man! He's in the mirror!" My parents turned and stared at the mirror.
Leo, there's no one there, it's just your reflection.
I looked again. He was gone. They didn't see him. They couldn't see him. Only I could. He was always there now. Everywhere I looked. A spoon at the breakfast table, a puddle on the sidewalk, the screen of my phone. He was there, staring, waiting. His expression never changed. It was a look of hungry patience. I was living in a constant state of fear. I was tired. I was so tired. I just wanted it to stop. But then my mom came in. She was carrying a small framed picture to hang on my wall. It was a photo of me from last summer smiling on the beach. I looked at the picture, and behind my smiling face, under the glass of the frame, I saw him, the man. He was no longer smiling. His face was twisted in a snarl, and he was pressing against the glass. I screamed and knocked the picture from my mom's hands. It clattered to the floor, and the glass shattered into 1,000 tiny pieces. From the largest piece of shattered glass, a thin wisp of black smoke was curling out. It was seeping out of the mirror shard, like steam from a kettle. It grew and twisted, forming a shape. It formed a long, thin hand with bony fingers. My mom gasped, her anger turning to terror. And now I am writing this. I am writing this as fast as I can. Because he is out. He is fully out of the mirror now. He is standing in the corner of my room. He is tall and thin, just like in the reflection, but he is no longer a shadow. He is solid. He is real. My parents are locked in their room. I can hear them crying. The man is just watching me. He is smiling again. That same horrible, hungry smile. He is walking towards me now. And the worst part, the scariest part of all, I just caught a glimpse of myself in a shard of broken glass on the floor. And I wasn't there. The space where my reflection should be was empty.